Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a vintage Ronson ADONIS automatic petrol lighter. This lighter is in very good cosmetic and functional condition. Although when I received the lighter, it had the old degraded flint clogging up the tube. So we disassembled the mechanism on top of the lighter, drilled out, actually punched out part of that degraded flint, which was really more like concrete in this lighter. The drill bit was not having any effect whatsoever on removing the flint from the tube. So we tapped it out with a small punch, and now we have a working lighter. This lighter does show some scuffs, scratches, minor surface wear, but overall is in really good cosmetic condition, as well as also being in good working order. It is marked on the bottom with the U.S. patent number, and then Ronson ADONIS, Newark, New Jersey, USA. I think you could call this an engine turn design. Diagonal lines that have been machined on each side, with a really high polish, mirror-like finish to the rest of the lighter. So it's going to show a few scuffs, scratches, a little bit of carbon here around the chimney area. So not in perfect cosmetic condition, but in very good working order. Functions very well. Nice snap to the thumb lever. May still be suffering just a little bit from some vapor lock when I filled it up. This is the first ADONIS that I have had that was constructed like this. Typically, the actuating bar that you see here is riveted into the top of the lighter back here, where this mechanism has the spring installed and the rivet that holds it in place, but it is all held in place with a little hook back here and then the tension from the spring. So I'm a big fan of this variation, even though I had never seen it before. I think this is probably a newer lighter than the Ronson ADONISes that I have handled in the past. I don't remember seeing an ADONIS that I owned with that marking for ADONIS. I don't know if it's not script, maybe it's italic, but you can see that there is a difference in the font between Ronson and ADONIS. The ADONIS marking is leaning forward, so that is probably an italic printed name is my guess. Those, or that font or those letters would fall under the italic category. So you've seen a few times here this lighter not ignite when we push the button. And as I said, that is very likely because we just recently fueled it here in the last hour or so. And a couple more misses. That's why we make these videos, to see just how well a lighter works, whether or not we need to do some more work to get it functional and reliable, dependable, as our name says. So I like this one a lot. I love the design. Really cool. I don't know when this was made. I don't know how late Ronson was producing petrol lighters. They began making butane lighters around 1960. I believe that's right. I could be off on that date. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong. But however far into the butane world Ronson was making petrol lighters, I think that this one was definitely into the 50s and possibly even later than that. But I'm no Ronson expert. I was sad to hear recently that the Ronson expert, Urban Cummings, had passed. And I'd still like to get a copy of that book. Is it Ronson, the Great American Lighter? Or was that the Zippo book? I got the Zippo book right back here. Yeah, no, the Zippo book was the Great American Lighter. I can't remember what the Ronson book that Urban Cummings put together was called. And in fact, there may be more than one book that he did. I'm really not sure. I see folks referring to those different figures in the book when posting pictures of their lighters online all the time. You even see that on eBay, where when a Ronson lighter is listed, after all the pertinent information like Ronson ADONIS, maybe the patent number, where it's made and all that, it will say figure number, whatever that figure is in the book. So obviously it would be nice to have such a reference to be able to identify all the different nuances on these different Ronson models, and not just the nuances between some of the different models, but perhaps dating and knowing some of the differences that took place within the same model. There are obviously differences with, say, the Whirlwind. Most of the Whirlwinds that I have had just had a plain old fill screw on the bottom, but I acquired 3 of them here recently that have the twist type bottom where you refuel the lighter. So just one of those nuances that you can come across when it comes to Ronson automatic lighters, and the sheer volume of different models of lighters that Ronson produced over the years is pretty overwhelming. So this one, depending on how well it continues or the lack of functionality, if that's what it continues to show, you may see it show up on the dependableflame.com/current eBay listings page soon. And if not, you may see it show up right back here in another video where perhaps we might rewick it. I don't believe there's any problem with the spark. It seems to be producing good spark, but perhaps that wick needs to be replaced. Could be contaminated with something that is making it not want to light reliably. But in this video, I'd say for the most part it's been about a 2 out of 3 proposition, and that's just not good enough for a Ronson lighter. It should light every time, just as the company always advertised. Until next time.